You know, when it comes to money, we're taught that success is all about what you know. You gotta find the right stocks, learn the best strategies, maybe find some secret formula. But what if that's all wrong? What if doing well with money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are, and everything to do with how you behave?
Okay, let's just dive right into this with a real-life puzzle that gets to the heart of this whole thing. How is it even possible that a humble janitor could end up with an $8 million fortune, while at the same time a top-tier, Harvard-educated financial executive goes completely broke? The answer? Well, it pretty much changes everything.
So, on one side, you've got Ronald Reed. This guy fixed cars and swept floors for a living. His strategy? It was super simple. He saved whatever he could, put it into stable, well-known companies, what we call blue-chip stocks, and then he just waited for decades. On the other side, you have Richard Fiscone. He had the fancy degree, the right connections, the whole shebang. But he was greedy, he took on way too much debt, and his own overconfidence completely wiped him out in the 2008 crash.
And that story just perfectly illustrates our first huge takeaway. When it comes to your money, success isn't a hard science. It's not like physics. It's a soft skill. It's all about psychology.
Morgan Housel, the author of the book we're drawing from, just nails it right here. Your intelligence gives you absolutely no edge if your behavior is out of control. The way you act when you're scared, the discipline you have over time, that is what really matters.
So here's the crucial point. Knowing a lot about finance doesn't automatically make you successful. A total genius can let emotions like fear and greed just completely sabotage their plans. Meanwhile, an ordinary person with simple habits like patience and consistency can quietly build a fortune. At the end of the day, your personal history with money, your own experiences, have way more power over your choices than any textbook.
All right, let's move on to our second truth, because it builds right on top of this. If behavior is the key, then one particular behavior stands head and shoulders above the rest. It's a true superpower: endurance. Just take a look at this number. That's roughly Warren Buffett's net worth. It's a figure that's so big, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. And yeah, we all know he's a brilliant investor. But his real secret, it isn't just about being good at investing.
But now look at this number. This is the truly mind-blowing part. This is how much of his fortune he earned after his 65th birthday. Over 95%. This isn't just a story about genius stock picks. It's a story about the absolutely insane power of time. This timeline really lays it all out. Buffett was no overnight success. He started investing when he was just 10 years old and was a millionaire by 30. But the truly explosive, exponential growth, that happened decades later. His real skill wasn't just being a great investor, it was being a great investor for almost 80 years straight.
And this is such a critical distinction to make. Look, pretty much anyone can get lucky and make a bunch of money fast. But keeping it and letting it grow for a lifetime, that takes a completely different mindset. It takes humility, it takes patience, and it takes understanding that true wealth is built through endurance, not just short bursts of intensity.
And the engine that drives all of this, of course, is compounding. Now, we've all heard the word, but we usually miss the most important ingredient. The real magic of compounding isn't hitting massive, spectacular home runs. It's about getting pretty good returns that you can just keep up, without interruption, for the longest time possible. That's the secret sauce.
So, if success is all about behavior and endurance, what's the point? What are we all working for? Well, this brings us to our final and maybe the most profound psychological truth of all. The ultimate goal of wealth isn't more stuff. It's freedom.
There's this fantastic story about the authors Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller. They're at a party hosted by a billionaire, and Vonnegut points out that their host made more money in a single day than Heller had ever earned from his super famous novel, Catch-22. And Heller's reply, "It's one of the most powerful financial lessons you'll ever hear. Yes, but I have something he will never have. Enough."
Because without a sense of enough, you just fall right into a trap. The goalpost for what will make you happy is constantly moving further away. You start comparing yourself to people in a totally different league, and this can lead you to take insane risks for more money that you don't even need, risking the money that you absolutely do.
This really forces us to redefine what wealth even is. It's not what you spend. True wealth is actually invisible. It's the money you haven't spent. It's the assets in your portfolio just sitting there, giving you options, security, and at the end of the day, freedom.
And this idea perfectly explains why using money to show off is usually pointless. It's called the man in the car paradox. Think about it. When you see someone in a really nice car, you rarely think, wow, that person driving is so cool. Instead, you think, man, if I had that car, people would think I'm cool. The admiration we're looking for is basically a mirage.
So let's just put these two ideas side by side. We chase money because we think it'll buy us nice things and make people admire us. But what wealth actually buys is something so much more valuable: control. Control over your own time. The ability to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. That is the greatest dividend money will ever pay.
And that really leaves us with this one last critical question to think about. In your own life, your own financial journey, are your decisions aimed at building a life that just looks rich to other people? Or are you building one that truly feels free to you?